hot start, 8 points. 8 of the first 28 for the Sky. Mitchell from up top.
Picture this, a packed arena, the crowd on their feet as Kelsey Mitchell sinks another deep three. The scoreboard ticks over 25 points again, and somewhere Caitlin Clark's biggest critic is getting real quiet. This is the story of how one player's rise is silencing doubters across the league. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. The story of Mitchell's ascent to fame is legendary. The worst part, though, is that she wasn't even the most anticipated rookie this season. The player who is currently the buzz of the town was previously unknown. How did she quickly flip the script?
Cheyenne on Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey, 3-ball, good.
It's a traditional underdog tale, but with a modern take. It was not supposed to be Kelsey Mitchell making news. She didn't come from a dominant collegiate program. She wasn't the first draft pick, and she didn't have a huge social media following. The brightest stars, however, aren't often the ones you expect. Mitchell had a turbulent start to her WNBA career. Yes, there were moments when she shone greatness, but her consistency was lacking. Critics questioned if she could actually be a franchise player, as well as her ability to manage a team and select shots.
Harding Clark being very physical. That's been what they've done all game. Mitchell with the shot clock expiring.
However, Mitchell, she simply continued to strive, to push, and to believe. Subsequently, things became apparent. Mitchell isn't simply terrific this season, she's extraordinary. We're talking about scoring more than 25 points a game, making 49.3% of our field goals, and exploding for 40.7% of our three-pointers. These are exceptional numbers, not simply decent ones. These are the kinds of numbers that cause you to take attention and sit up. This is where things become really fascinating though. Mitchell is contributing more to a poor team than simply flashy numbers. The entire Indiana Fever franchise is changing because of her. The Fever have soared to 5th place in the league pace under her leadership. They are outperforming every team in the league with their fast-paced, hard-hitting football. Let's also discuss that streak of record-breaking, 5 games in a row with 20 or more points. Although it may not seem like much, it is significant when considering the history of Fever. Mitchell broke the record, not just cracked it. She also solidified her reputation and franchise legend by doing this. However, this goes beyond statistics on a stat sheet. The tale of Mitchell's transformation from undiscovered talent to a true star is the kind that motivates. It serves as a reminder that skill and an unwavering work ethic can conquer any challenge.
Nearly lost it, able to save it. Mitchell steps back and buries a three.
On WNBA courts around the nation, we are witnessing the classic hero's journey unfold. What's the best thing then? Mitchell is still not done. Every performance, every game makes a statement. Mitchell is saying, I'm supposed to be here. I'm among the greatest, and I'm only now beginning. It's the kind of confidence that requires a great deal of labor, sweat, and tears to obtain. It cannot be faked. How does the WNBA stand to gain from all of this? It implies that the league has become much more thrilling. This implies that fans could see something amazing any night. It also implies that Kelsey Mitchell is vying for the top slots, so the current guard needs to be on guard. Recall when it was said that Caitlin Clark would not succeed in the professional ranks. Her most recent move, though, isn't just drawing attention, it's upending the entire league. How on earth could one rookie upset the balance of power in the WNBA? Stay put, because you might be surprised by the Caitlin Clark effect. Let's discuss the explosive team that is dominating the WNBA, the Splash Sisters. Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark are becoming a formidable force. Their explosive on-court connection creates a backcourt that gives rival teams fits. But go back a little. The detractors were out in full force before Clark had set foot on a WNBA court. They noted that she had poor shot selection, an excessive usage rate, and poor defense. To put it mildly, they weren't impressed. The issue is, Clark didn't just take the criticism, instead she fed off of it. I know you're wondering how Clark is doing in the face of all those doubters. She's not only surviving, but thriving actually. Everyone said that deep threes wouldn't work in the professional ranks. They are being drained of confidence by her. Now that her coaches have given her the go-ahead, she's stretching defenders like silly putty. And protection! Clark has significantly raised her game. She has not only gotten more proficient in her own defense, but she has also emerged as a vital contributor to her teammates' ability to defend well. It's as though she grabbed all of those uncertainties and transformed them into resolve. But there's still more. Do you recall how Clark's agility and physicality were questioned? Could she withstand the demands of the Women's National Basketball Association? Clark, though, did more than just accept the challenge. She nailed it. She worked out hard in the gym during the Olympic break, concentrating on improving her body and changing her style of play. What was the outcome? A player who is not just dominating, but also competing at a high level. And this is where Kelsey Mitchell re-enters the picture. Not only are Mitchell's performances shattering records, but they're also improving Clark's standing. Mitchell's success seems to be a large blinking neon sign that says, hey, this fast-paced play style, in the WNBA, it functions. In the WNBA, Mitchell and Clark are changing the definition of what it means to be a dynamic backcourt. They are assuming control rather than merely blending in. Their achievements are changing people's ideas of what the league is capable of. These days, it's more about how their playing style is altering the game than it is about individual metrics. Consider it. In college, Clark received a lot of backlash for her playing style. It wouldn't translate to the pros, according to some. With Mitchell at her side, though, she's demonstrating that it can not just translate, but also flourish. Instead of the other way around, they're driving the pace, stretching the floor, and making opponents adjust. This couple is more than just a charming tale. They make a claim, a declaration indicating that the WNBA is changing and prepared for a new chapter in basketball history, a time when deep threes are a valid tactic rather than merely a novelty, when heavy consumption is an advantage rather than a disadvantage, where team cohesion is just as important to defense as individual matchups. Synergy within the team is one thing, but what if I told you that the Fever had discovered a formula that is upending the entire league? It's no longer only about these two outstanding players. It centers on a team that is redefining the boundaries of what the WNBA can achieve. The Indiana Fever are outpacing their opponents in their speed of play. Not only are they quick, but their speed ranks 5th in the league. And it's all because of Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, who work so well together. These two are altering the game, not just racking up stats. Recall how Clark's detractors claimed her professional manner wouldn't translate. Mitchell's incredible performances are disproving their claims though. When played together, they demonstrate that fast-paced, high-scoring basketball is not only feasible, but also extremely lethal in the WNBA. The problem is that it goes beyond individual genius. Everyone on the Fever team is doing better. Mitchell and Clark aren't the only ones contributing to their increased scoring. This new way of playing is being embraced by the entire team. It's similar to witnessing a team come into its own in real time. How does this compare to Clark's impact at Iowa? One may wonder. It's uncannily alike. As she did while attending college, Clark is making everyone around her feel better. But now that Mitchell is with her, the impact is greater. The Fever are controlling games rather than just winning them. Now, let's discuss that defense. One would imagine that a squad playing at such a fast speed would have defensive difficulties. However, the Fever are also disproving that. Their team dynamic is outstanding, which enhances communication and defensive rotation. They seem to always be one step ahead of their rivals. Not only is this metamorphosis amazing, but it's also historic. From being bottom feeders in the league, the Fever are now serious competitors, and they completed it in an instant. It's the kind of change that causes you to take notice and sit up. Here we are witnessing the emergence of a future WNBA Titan. The Fever are altering perceptions in addition to winning games. They're demonstrating that you can play at the greatest level while maintaining an exhilarating fast-paced style. Other teams might soon be rushing to imitate this blueprint, not to mention the skeptics who questioned Clark. It feels like a clear refutation of their claims every time Mitchell sets a new record or the Fever win a game. It's evidence that the experts are not always correct. Players like Mitchell and Clark are there to correct the record when they do. However, this goes beyond simply disproving detractors. It's about transforming the WNBA as a whole. Other teams are having to adjust due to the Fever's metamorphosis. Playing a deliberate, sluggish game is suddenly insufficient. You must possess the ability to outrun them. Known as the Splash Sisters, this pair is changing the definition of what a dynamic backcourt in the WNBA is. They are assuming control rather than merely blending in. Additionally, by doing this, they're expanding the potential of women's basketball.